What?
I don't fucking know. Let's go back in.
So I think real quick, just to kind of finish up this bit, should we? Because I need to do it too. I was really bad today about following my own advice about not going to the comment section. I went.
Why do you think that is?
Because I got notifications on my phone every 2 goddamn seconds from someone
Yeah.
liking my video.
Yeah.
Right. So like, I think, KevCat, you and I think we should raise our hands. I think we need to just make an oath that we will walk away. We can come back to it, but we need to just be able to walk away from things so we don't spend hours just like refreshing. It's on right now. I know.
Yeah. I mean,
Can we please just like keep each other accountable because we're making shit that's funny that people are liking.
I mean, I still want to read the comments on my shit.
Okay, you can.
But I swear, like the second it starts to get toxic, I promise I will stop reading.
But I think for me, this is my promise. I'm going to move away from like refreshing every few minutes to see
same.
the comments because like it's a good like you get like that serotonin like right away. Your body's like, yes, get that fucking like. I'm right here, baby. I'm here. I'm queer, and I gotta like somebody likes my video. But I'm gonna stop for the rest of the night. I'm not doing it.
I still get stoked when I get like 20 likes on a thing. I'm like, hello, you liked my thing.
Right. Okay. Oh, it went to the NoCo logo.
I know, because I had to switch the shot.
That's fine. But anyways, so what else do we want to talk about? Kobe and shit on Kobe for like 10 minutes?
I don't want to shit on Kobe. I think. Why are you laughing?
I'm not a. Yeah.
I find this very interesting.
Kobe allegedly raped somebody in Colorado.
True, but that was 17 years ago, and he was not convicted.
That's okay. For me, when it came out to the evidence that like when things were coming out, there was a lot of conversations about how these women were paid off, right?
True, and he did settle that case out of court.
Right, exactly. So there is some potential validity to that because it was settled out of court.
Sure, there's
So-
potential to it.
Right. So my thought is that in these situations, I don't feel comfortable saying RIP in peace to somebody who has that. Now, on the other hand, like it is a terrible situation that people died in a helicopter crash.
Right.
But like when it comes to Kobe, I'm like, I don't fucking care. That's all I'm at. That is the only situation that
That's
I am
fair. I get what you're saying. For me, like I was no fan of his, even though I've always been a Lakers fan. When those accusations came out and the fact that they occurred in Colorado and it was such a media event here, for me, I was just like I wrote him off. I was like, I don't care how good he is if he's a rapist. But at the same time as well, like when news hit on Sunday afternoon, I can't help but feeling incredibly sad for his family. You know,
100%.
And the fact that like, you know, his 13-year-old daughter was also aboard that helicopter and also died. You know, and the fact like, granted, I'm not saying that one, we don't know that he was a rapist. He was never convicted, so I can't necessarily hold that against him. But that's a slippery slope because theoretically you could say the same thing about OJ, even though OJ's guilty as sin.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
But like, you know, for someone to die so young, I mean, he was only what, 40 or 41?
41.
41. I mean, that is tragic and it is horrible. Scuba Guy 12 says, I found your guys' shitty TikTok and it led me to your shitty stream.
Hell yeah!
Welcome
Hell
to our
yeah.
shitty stream.
Welcome to our shitty stream. Welcome to the family. I'm so glad that you like. That's the video. Okay, I said this before.
Which shitty TikTok?
Like dude, I am right there with you. That was like the lowest, like the least amount of time that I've spent on creating content, and that's the shit that people like. Hell yeah! I'm glad that you're here. Welcome to this shit. So, but anyways, we're talking about Kobe. We're shitting on Kobe now, so enjoy the conversation.
You're
Not
shitting on
on Kobe.
You are shitting on Kobe. The rest of us are not. I don't know. It was definitely upsetting for me. It wasn't anything that made me like break down in tears or anything, but also because like I've had a rough week. Like
Right.
I lost a cousin who, you know, for all intents and purposes, I was not close with.
Right.
It's a cousin I'm related to by marriage, but she was 17 and she died in her sleep, and we don't know why.
Right.
And you know, had the funeral for that on Saturday, and that was a tough event. You know, and so I guess. I don't know. I suppose like my reaction to hearing about Kobe Bryant was a little different because I just like I know what it's like.
To like lose somebody who is younger.
Yeah.
But was it about like for you specifically? Was it Kobe or was it his daughter that was the issue that
I think for both of them, I think it's tragic.
Well, I think
I
it's
mean-
tragic, but I mean, like for your situation here that made you feel the feels, was it the announcement of Kobe or was the announcement of his daughter that caused the issues?
Or just
I
something
definitely
about-
felt more when it was his daughter. Scuba Guy 12, talk about something entertaining. We're talking about real shit here, so if you don't like it, feel free to fuck off. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
Welcome to NoCo Live. We don't give a fuck what you say.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Sorry, continue.
Unless you're contributing positively, in which case, then we love you. But clearly, Scuba Guy, you are not, so fuck off. In any case, yeah, I mean, it was a rough thing, and yeah, I think that my experience with that was colored by what had happened over the last week. So, it's definitely one of those weird things, but it both of those instances are related in as much as it reminds me like just how fleeting life can be.
Yeah. I agree
And
with
anytime that happens, that's like kind of a sobering realization.
that. Right.
And you said it wasn't really someone that you were super close to, but it was still somebody in your life that you know about and that you kind of
Yeah, I
care
mean,
about, and
I
that's-
mean, I even like, I babysat her a little bit when she was younger. You know, her and her older sister, and at the funeral on Saturday, seeing like her sister and her mom and her dad going up and talking about her and everything, that was what hit me the worst. Was
Right.
you know, you never want to. No one should ever have to outlive their child.
All right.
And the fact that that happens is really kind of tragic and really awful.
Right.
it's fair.
Fangirl, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Hope you're doing better. I am. Thank you.
Yeah, and Scooby, Kobe was Scooby. Scuba Guy says Kobe was anti-LGBTQ. Yeah.
See, the thing is,
But
we
you know what?
don't
Kobe
have
wasn't
to-
Scuba Guy.
Oh.
He wasn't blocked. You, however, are. Goodbye.
Oh shit. Okay.
Why? Okay. Anyways, let's do this.
So,
How do you feel?
well, you can mourn the loss of a life without excusing anyone's behaviors. You can say,
Sure.
well, it sucks that they're dead because maybe they would have redeemed themselves, maybe they would have fixed some shit. But the thing is, you can, regardless of your reasons or how you fixed your behavior from the result of an action, you still took that action and you still have to carry the weight of the responsibility of taking that action. 100%.
Yeah.
He was anti-LGBT. He will always be anti-LGBT because he didn't fix it before he died. He will always be an alleged abuser and rapist or whatever, regardless of his death or nothing like that. But
Right.
he's still dead, and that's still something that isn't great for the people who cared about him.
Yeah.
And you both thoughts can exist simultaneously.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. I think that we have like a real problem with the ability to have multiple thoughts about like one specific thing, right? Like
People want to be black or white. They want to be in one camp or the other because it feels safe somehow to do it that way.
right, but it's even like more. Yeah, black and white. Like yes, obviously, obviously, I don't have to say this on a fucking stream. Like obviously raping somebody is bad, right? So there is layers to this, right? So you can have multiple feelings about a specific thing. You can call something out for being shitty, but also like feel bad, and like both of those feelings are valid, and like yeah. So I think that's kind of where I'm at. So like
Makes
Yeah.
sense. It's like, yeah, I don't condone what he allegedly did, and I didn't know about his anti-LGBTQ stance, so that's news to me.
Right.
But you're right. Both those things can exist in the same place, and they each have a right to.
And everybody's allowed to have their opinions on it. Like honestly, if somebody was personally affected by Kobe's anti-LGBT thoughts and actions or whatever, or any of his alleged victims were affected by that, they don't have to respect this shit. They don't have to
Yeah.
come out and be like, oh, well, I hope it I'm so sorry that he died. They don't have to say that shit.
Yeah, I mean,
And
everybody's
people are
allowed to
entitled
have their own
feelings.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I will never feel bad for Hitler being dead.
Right.
And there are some people who won't feel bad for Kobe being dead.
Speaking of which, I saw an article today about someone at like some state university somewhere. I forget exactly where. An assistant football coach who was suspended because he gave an interview to the school newspaper and said that one of the people he'd love to have dinner with is Hitler.
Ooh.
And he gave his reasons for talking about that, but like he's basically saying that regardless of what Hitler did, you can't deny that he was a good leader. I'm just like,
fuck.
dude, whether you have those thoughts or not, I'm not necessarily going to judge you, but you really need to understand that those are some things that you should probably keep to yourself.
Okay,
was this Jordan Peterson?
I don't know who that is.
Okay, never mind.
I don't know who that is either. But like honestly, I understand part of the perspective of it. Like I don't ever want to glorify anyone who does horrible acts. I don't ever want to put serial killers on a pedestal or anything like that. But I've always been fascinated in why brains work like that and allow people to commit such atrocities. So if somebody's like, I just want to know what the fuck broke in this guy's brain to make him think that was okay. I understand that. I'd be down for that, but I will never, ever, never excuse or glorify someone's actions for shit like
100%.
that.
Yeah, it's kind of like me, right? Like I will never support things that Kevin Spacey has done ever again, like ever. Like I will not watch a Kevin Spacey movie. That's just kind of where I'm at, because I'm like, this, if he has anything that he will make even like a modicum of a royalty on, I don't want anything to go to this man.
Sure.
And that's just how I feel. But also, like, on that, I also, I do think that some of his original films, especially like Usual Suspects and Seven, were very huge influences on myself.
Sure.
Right. And like, I can't.
Talk about Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
Same for
I
me
can't
with
deny
American
that shit.
Beauty.
Yeah, exactly. I can't deny that shit. Like, and that's how I feel about those movies. I think those movies are brilliant, but he's a giant piece of turds,
Same.
and I
I
will
love
not
Seven.
support him. And that sucks, because I'm like, well, now I'm not going to watch Seven anymore, because like,
Can we just reshoot, like, keep Seven exactly the same, but green screen someone else?
me.
Yeah, just toss into all the things. I actually did his monologue for my drama class when I was auditioning for Tumnus the Fawn. That's right. I did a serial killer's monologue for Tumnus the Fawn,
Wait,
and I got the part.
The monologue when he's in the back of the car?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, that's
Yup.
dark.
Yeah, in front of my whole class too. And my teacher, Mr. Swain, was so fucking crazy. He was like, "That was sick, dog." Yeah, so it was fucking dope as shit.
yeah,
Man.
Yeah, it's funny. Like when the allegations about Spacey came out, they did end up cutting him out of a movie and replacing him with another actor completely, even though they had to spend
yeah, I
millions of
remember
dollars to
that.
reshoot stuff. And they put in Christopher Plummer, who's a phenomenal actor. And I was just like, okay, cool. Well, they improved it at least.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I asked my girlfriend about this a while back. I said, how do you separate the art from the artist? Like, and I use Kevin Spacey as an example, so it's interesting that you brought that up, Charles. Because I said, like, can you watch Kevin Spacey movies that like you've liked before, and separate like his actions in real life from his body of work? And she's like, well, yeah, for me, I can. But I wouldn't necessarily support anything new that he was doing because I don't want him to continue to make money off of it. And I know that if like my copy of Seven is upstairs on a hard drive, and I know that when I watch it, he's not going to get anything out of it. So I feel like I can still watch it from time to time.
Exactly. Pirate all the movies that shitty people are in if you want
I
to see
own a
them.
legal copy of it on Blu-ray, and I ripped it to a hard drive for personal use.
And the FBI can suck my dick. I pirate.
hey, FBI, I would steal a car.
I would download a house. I would do it.
So, yep, that's that. So, empty space. So, yeah,
I found my
Dead air.
wallet.
that's a cool
I'm
story.
quitting my
I mean,
job.
this is, yeah.
Talk to us about that. Talk to us about your career transition.
I'm so excited to be leaving. I'm like, oh man. the main reason is just
Do
for.
you want to name the companies or keep them anonymized?
I'm gonna keep the new one anonymous. Yep.
That's
too.
a word.
Yep.
That thing.
Yeah, I'm proud of myself. But yeah, I want to keep that anonymous. But I'm finally quitting Boost. It's gonna be great, and my manager hates me, and everything's fine.
Dope.
Your manager hates you? Like your manager is upset that you're leaving?
Yeah, because the day after I put my 2 weeks in, my coworker, the only other person who works there, put his in.
Oh, no.
So double whammy.
Well, you know, that's unfortunate. Maybe they
They
should
pay
work.
us.
Maybe they should work harder to keep quality people.
For real. People don't quit jobs, they quit bad managers. Well, I mean, people quit jobs all the time,
Yeah,
but you
a
know
lot
what I
of
mean.
people quit.
Yeah, that's a good point, though. Like
Yeah.
if you have, even if you love the job, if you have a shitty manager, that's gonna make your experience awful.
Right.
Right. Or just the entire corporate tree.
Yeah.
So besides from this, what do we have going on the station? Anything big news this week? Well, I mean, we've got, I don't know.
Well, there's some things we can talk about in the abstract.
Right.
We are set. We are in the early stages of pulling the trigger on our first original audio drama.
Yeah, it's really
Nice.
awesome. So we've got that show coming out. We've got a new podcast by an awesome family member of the show who I won't name, but it's so
yeah.
dope, and I'm so excited for this upcoming show. We've got new episodes of Gadio this week. We got a new episode of Talk and Roll coming out this week. Carbon's probably going to be talking about Cobes.
Yeah, I know Carbon will want to address that for sure. And Fangirl says, I hope you'll have a great time at your new job and make all the bread.
Yeah,
Thank
make
you.
it. Make it.
Fangirl, you are the best. We love you.
Yeah,
They came from my
seriously,
TikTok.
and like we appreciate everybody who comes by the show, and I think like
Except
we're
for
probably-
Scuba Guy.
No,
Fuck that guy.
Well,
he's
okay.
fine.
He seemed
Whatever.
like he was just
Just a
having
meme,
like
yeah.
too much fun.
Yeah.
Like he was just being pushy.
See, like,
No, here's the thing. Every single every single contribution he made was negative.
Right.
And that to me is the equivalent of someone just shit posting for the sake of shit posting. And I don't feel the need to stand for that.
Right, I get that, but like also like a majority of the conversations that we were having earlier was like not read the comments, and then we read the comments and it got to that point.
Well, we weren't reading the comments. This is an interactive element that's a part of our show. That's a little different.
That's true. We
If-
did tell people to ask us
if
questions
we're
and shit.
inviting people onto a community and some people choose to abuse that, I'm not gonna.
I don't.
No, I'm not gonna allow someone to walk in my house and talk shit to me.
Yeah, no. That's,
Because they can, they don't need to be in my house. If they want to talk shit, they can do it somewhere else.
right.
And that's totally fair, and I completely get that. I just also think that when someone is commenting on a new post or something, they're trying to be more interactive. It felt like he was just trying to stir stuff up, like just be kind of. He was I'm assuming they are he, and I shouldn't do that. But this person was just uncomfortable with the Kobe situation and was like, "Hey, talk about something interesting," and like.
But
I mean,
also,
quite possibly, but their very first post was, "I came from your shitty TikTok for
think that
your
was a
shitty
joke.
stream."
so fucking good. That
was so cute.
we were just talking about like how
How shitty our
TikTok
TikToks
was like that was. Yeah, I think
I don't
like,
know. My position is I don't need more negativity in my life,
Right.
and,
I totally
and to
understand. And also
to
your
recognize it and reward someone with attention just because they're being contrarian
Right.
doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, I think in
And
this
it's one thing for us to say that our stuff sucks because we're doing it from kind of a facetious place, but when
Right.
someone else does it, I don't feel the need to promote that.
True, but
Here's
there's also like people, like 90% of my friends to greet each other like, "Hey, what's up, you piece of shit? I love to go fuck yourself," and that means I love you and you're
Right.
great.
Well, with all due respect, maybe you need better friends.
No, that's how we
that's-
love
okay.
each other. That's just a different form of language and communicating.
Right.
We just don't feel like we have to. That we can
treat
joke around
treat
with
each other with respect.
It is respectful.
like,
the
yeah,
thing is,
it's-
we're on that level, and just some people communicate like
yeah,
that.
and I mean like when it comes to, and you can see this in movies like the Big Sick, right, is a good one that I like recommend for like this kind of conversation. Comedians show respect that way, and that's how comedians talk to each other, and it's really truly like a sign of like, I expect this from you. Like I love when you kind of like say something just to kind of like jab at me. Like obviously there's so much love there, but there's also that kind of conversation. So like
Sure, but that's when you have really good rapport with someone.
Right.
That's with someone that you care about and you have that relationship with.
Yeah.
You wouldn't accept that sort of input from strangers.
yeah, I don't know.
At least I wouldn't. Maybe
Right.
it's a generational thing. I mean, you guys are a little younger than I am, but for me, and you know, my friendships and relationships, that's not how we talk. And if that's how other people talk, that's fine. But you know, this person was a stranger.
Yeah,
and
I get that.
Someone who's just like, as far as I could tell, shit talking.
Right.
And it's like, cool, do that somewhere else.
For me, like if it was up to me in this situation, I would have just said, ignore the guy. Like that's a stupid fucking comment. Like let him leave the show. Like there was no reason for like. Yeah, that's where I would have been.
But I also
Yeah.
understand
Yeah,
because like
exactly.
you're not used to that shit. You're not used to people being like that and fucking coming on to your shit and being like, "Hey, talk about something interesting, move on, whatever. You guys
Well,
are
I
fucking
mean, I
stupid."
don't want to get used to it either.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like
Right.
life's too fucking short. And like that's kind of my theme for tonight is that life is too fucking short to have to deal with like stupid shit and people acting stupid just for the sake of doing it. So that's me.
No, and I totally get that.
I'm right there with you, dude. Like I understand. Like I think that we would have all handled this situation a little bit differently, and that's fine.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Fuck
all
it.
good.
Honestly,
You know, people who are here, I want them to be here because they're enjoying what we're doing and they're contributing positively if that's what they want to do. But if they want to contribute negatively, I mean, that's fine, but go do it somewhere else.
fair and like, that's true. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say like I honestly prefer different forms of like people being like, hey, maybe that wasn't so good or whatever. And some people are a little more rash with it.
Yeah.
And some people are a little more calm with it. But I don't necessarily expect someone over the internet to just be like, hey, I don't know, you guys. Maybe you should do this instead, you know?
Right.
Not everyone's like that.
Anyways, I think
wish they were.
I think we're all at this point where we can just say
My knees
we love
hurt.
each other.
Yes,
And I love you guys.
we love you.
Yeah. So, anyways, I think that's. Do we want to call it? Do we want to call the show? Got another 10
No,
minutes usually.
I mean, yeah, we could go for a little bit longer.
Do we have what else do we want to chat about?
What else do we want to chat about?
We did the station notes. We're having a big meeting this weekend that we won't discuss.
We're having our kind of like leadership safety meeting, which has been a while since we've done that, and you and me and Corbin, kind of chatting about where we want to go this next year, and like we have a lot of things on the horizon. Some things that we're just kind of teasing, and other stuff we're not mentioning at all.
Yeah.
So
Until it happens, probably.
until it happens, yeah, and it's exciting. I think this is going to be a good year for us, and we're already starting to see some growth in terms of like listenership, and in terms of attention.
Yeah.
So
We're
I mean,
seeing
all that
significant
stuff's good.
numbers on most shows. Like I
Yeah.
was just looking through
Through all the analytics,
all
yeah.
the analytics for the last couple of months, and it just really seems like on a regular basis we're seeing some significant growth, like which is really really cool. But it's just one of those things, like I think 2020 is really the year of like sitting down and talking about the marketing, right? Like and like what is next for each of these shows when it comes to marketing, and yeah.
Yeah.
Dope.
Fuck.
I think this is. I think we're at a point where it's just a good closing point. So
Sure.
Thank you guys so much for listening. This episode was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun here at NoCo Live, but you can always check out the show Monday nights at 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We are here, rain or shine, unless we decide to take a week off. So
Mental health is important.
mental health is-
Lost Under Space says, first time tuning in, enjoyed the show. Thanks for doing what you do.
Yeah, we appreciate
thank
you too.
We're glad.
you.
Yeah, we're really glad that you're a part of the family. And so just a little bit for everybody who's still here, anybody who's still checking out the show. NoCo FM is a hybrid streaming radio station / podcasting network dedicated to underserved communities around the world. So that's something that we're really doing, and we have a lot of shows based around LGBTQIA plus inclusivity, like KevCat's show, NoCo Gadio, or my show, which is a bunch of bisexuals play Dungeons and Dragons and talk about porn sometimes. And it's
Called Talk and Roll.
Talk and Roll. Yeah, I am terrible about like promoting my own show. Like,
Yeah,
Is
I've
that
noticed.
Charles Joseph Kelly, host
God,
of Talk and Roll?
Stop.
Is that Chris Lanphier, runner of
I'm
NoCo
gonna mute
FM.
your mic.
But
Is that Stephanie?
Oh my god! Oh my god! But anyways, we've got a lot of cool shows. We're bringing a lot more shows coming in 2020. Currently, we're sitting at 12 originals, 13 originals,
12 originals.
12
Yep.
original shows. We're pushing that up quite a bit this next year. We're seeing a lot of growth in these shows, and we're allowed to do so thanks to you guys.
And we are streaming 24/7 at NoCo.fm as an audio stream. So if you want to hear kind of the newest in independent music, you can hear that most of the day. And then at nighttime, we have our original shows like Talk and Roll, like NoCo Gadio. We also have other shows like Connecting a Better World around nonprofits and social issues. Corbin versus the World, which is our kind of like current events / new music show hosted by our music director. And we have more cool stuff coming soon. So thanks for checking it out and being here with us tonight.
Yeah, awesome. Like, and I seriously, like, we say this every single week, but we appreciate you guys. So, like, yes, the live streams are a little low numbered, but you know, like when it comes to the rest of the station, watching it afterwards, and everybody who really kind of like sits in and hangs out with us, like we appreciate every single one of you. So, like, if
you like it, tell a friend.
Yeah, and I mean, like when it comes to everything that we create here, you know, we do it with love and passion, and we've got some really cool stuff for you. So if this is your first time checking it out, jump to NoCo.fm if you are in the market for a new podcast or a new show, or you just want to listen to some dope music, just chill out. Like, we've got some cool shit. Like, what we're doing here is just trying to build something new. So, and we've been doing this for over a year now. So
Yeah, almost 2 years.
almost 2 years now. So we've got some cool stuff. Welcome to the family, and we appreciate you guys. So
Fangirl says, love the show today. Can't wait to tune in next week.
Awesome.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Hell yeah.
Hey, fangirl, you're fucking great.
You're dope. You guys are all dope. Everybody's dope. I love you all. Thank you so much. Everybody have yourselves a wonderful week. We'll see you next
And a
week.
Merry Christmas.
Yep.
Merry Christmas.
Happy
for sure.
birthday.
Happy Mansmas. Is this the theme song from here on out? I think so.